Hi, what we're going to be making today are called chocolate coconut cookie bars. And what you'll be needing is walnut pieces, chocolate chips, sugar, Kellogg's cornflake crumbs, coconut condensed milk, 1 stick of butter, pan to spray the pan with.
And then what's the first step?
To preheat the oven to 350 degrees.
And then what's the next step?
Is to melt 1 stick of butter. Is to spray the pan with pan, and then you gotta spray the sides good, and then you're gonna have to combine all the ingredients. You don't even to dirty a bowl. You can just do it all in this, and then when you're done, you put it in the oven for how many minutes you need to. Okay, now it's time to combine the ingredients. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is put in the cornflake crumbs onto the bottom of the
How
pan.
much?
It's 1 cup.
2 cups.
Well, 2 cups. And then you want to pat it like this, to get all over the pan. And next, you want to do 1 cup of sugar. And you want to kind of combine it all together until you don't see, well, barely any white. And then now you want to pour the butter in. This is 1 stick of butter. And then this is where the real combining gets into. So you want to take a spoon and just kind of mix it all together until it's goopy and all stuck together. Okay, so this is how it should look like when it's all done. Mix it thoroughly, and you want to make sure there's no clumps of butter. So you want to always pat it down and make sure it's all in the corners. And make sure to use a metal spoon because it's going to be easier to get off. So, yeah. Okay, so this is what the finished crust looks like. So this will be the crust. Make sure to pack it in firmly so it can be condensed, and make sure that its edges are kind of even. So it can go. Now you can go on to the next step and just do everything else. So now we're going to go on to the next step. It's chocolate chips. And for me, it is the most important step because I love chocolate. Most of my friends know that. So you want to make sure you use half the bag. If you love chocolate, you can use more chocolate. If you like less chocolate, you can use less chocolate. And then make sure it covers the crust. Make sure to spread it out where it's even. And make sure to get even sides. Okay, so now, since we added the chocolate chip, it covers most of the crust. And then now we're going to add the shredded coconut. And then you want to make sure there's no clumps. And you want to make sure to cover most of the chocolate chips. So you want to make sure you just spread it thoroughly, however you pronounce it, but make sure it's good enough. Okay, so now since we added the coconut, the same thing with the chocolate chips. Make sure it covers the edges, and if you're not a big fan of coconut, don't add that much. And if you're a big fan of coconut, add as much as you want, but make sure it goes through the edges, like hits the edges like the chocolate chips. Now you want to add the chopped walnuts, and it's the same thing what you do with the chocolate chips and the coconut. And the same thing with both of them. If you're not a big fan with walnuts or any kind of nuts, don't add that much. But if you're a big fan of any kind of nuts, then add a lot if you want. And I wouldn't recommend this if you have peanut allergies. So, yeah. Okay, so now you can see we're almost done. So now you want to add sweetened and condensed milk to combine it all together. Condensed milk is like your best friend for these. And the reason you want to do it is to combine it all together so we'll bond it all together to make it as bars. So, and then I'm going to have my aunt help me with this. So you want to make sure you have it evenly and make sure it spreads fast. Yeah, so you just want to have it as my aunt's doing it. And you have to do it like that so it can bond it and be perfect. Okay, so now as you can see here, you have the condensed milk all over the pan, and you want every single part to be covered, because if it's like spots, it's not going to be a bar, it's going to be all like crummy and fall apart. So make sure it's covered, and then you're going to get ready to bake for how many minutes? For 30 minutes. And if you want it crunchy, bake it longer. If you want it chewy, make it shorter. I like mine golden brown, so yeah. Gotta get this. So bake it for 30 or shorter minutes. It depends how you want it. And just let it bake for 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes, and then 30 minutes later, we'll show you how it looks. And make sure to keep an eye on it. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like after cooking for 30 minutes at 350 or higher if you need to. Personally, I like them more crispy, so you can have them cook less if you like it crispy or crispy. Make sure to let it cool all day to make sure you can cook it into bars. So when you're done, you want to have it have it go like this to make sure it's not sitting towards this, then you can't get the edges if it's gonna be like cement when it cools. So make sure you take something like this and have it go like that. And then that's what it's supposed to look. Chocolate coconut cookie bars. And enjoy.